Okay, as you're building your schedule for fall, one of the courses that you're going to have to register for is considered a HASS class, Humanities, Arts, and Social Sciences. Now, this is our School of Engineering HASS planning sheet. We're going to go over the curriculum and the requirements for HASS later in the registration guide, but for this video, I wanted to cover one specific topic. Down here at the first checkbox is a HASS inquiry course requirement. This is specific to first-year students because this needs to be done within the first 2 semesters of college. Now, your HASS inquiry course is a course that's generally with the prefix of IHSS. Now, if you read the specifics on our document here, you'll also notice that STSO 1110 is also an accepted HASS inquiry course. GSAS 1600 is another one that is considered HASS inquiry despite it not having the IHSS prefix. So how do you find a HASS inquiry class and what are they? What I usually tell students is we go to QUACS, our schedule software building equipment. Now make sure fall of 22 is up in the corner here because those are going to detail the courses that are specific to this upcoming semester. But over here is Humanities, Arts, and Social Sciences, aka HASS. All of these prefixes are considered HASS categories. We're going to specifically focus on the IHSS prefix. So if you click on this here, you're going to see all of the IHSS options that are available to you this coming semester. Now, one thing worth noting, you're going to see here, every single one has the designation that it's a full course. That is not the case. If you click on something, we'll go to the first one up here. 0 out of 0 seats available. The only reason it's labeled full right now is because we haven't put any seats officially in this section to be registered for. So while you're doing your planning, I don't want you to be discouraged. These will populate with seats on the day registration opens in July. So you will have the option to register for these courses. Now, another thing that's nice about QUACS is it'll detail the time of each course and it'll tell you the professor. But you'll also see here that it details what the course is about in most instances. If it's a new course, it might not have that course description, but this is a good way to become associated and acclimated to these courses to see if it's something that you think you might want to take. So as you go through these, you're going to see that designation or of certain courses actually have a designation of a communication intensive. So what that means, that's another requirement that you're required to do during your time here at Rensselaer. You have to take a communication intensive HASS class. So for example, if you were interested in what Nature and Society is about and you registered for this class, not only will it satisfy the HASS inquiry or IHSS requirement, but it's also going to satisfy a communication intensive requirement. So I want you to look through these prior to registering for your classes to see what options you have and what might interest you. Now, if a HASS class that you're taking this semester is something you enjoy, you might want to learn more about it. And that is where we would get into pathways and different HASS requirements moving forward. So the first step for you this semester is to scroll through these options to see what you're interested in and find a HASS inquiry class. Now, going back, as I mentioned on the sheet, Science, Technology, and Society, STSO 1110, is also a HASS inquiry, as you're going to see the designation over here. And it also is labeled as a full course because we have yet to populate seats in that class. So again, if you like this class, there's plenty of seat options in this category, and it will be populated the day that you register for courses. So that's where we are going to find information about HASS inquiry. And like we are telling you it is a first year requirement. There are no prerequisites for these classes because they're geared for first year students. So going back to IHSS, I'm going to pick a HASS class and I'm going to show you how it would populate on your HASS worksheet. So I'm going to take the history of animation. It's IHSS 1170. So going back to your HASS inquiry plan here, I'm going to fill in sign IHSS 1170 history of animation. Now going back to Quacks, you're going to notice it also has that communication intensive designation. So as we're scrolling through, we're also seeing that you're required to do a communication intensive. So I might also write IHSS 1170 history of animation in that category as well. You can populate different categories with the same course. Now, as we're scrolling down, you're also going to see where you need to designate all of your 5 required HASS classes. So again, we're going to write history of animation down in that point as well. So now you've already started your HASS requirements for RPI.